A significant development has emerged in the ongoing investigation into the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of prominent television journalist Savannah Guthrie. Authorities have publicly released photographs and video footage depicting a masked individual who appears to have tampered with the doorbell camera at Nancy's residence in Tucson, Arizona, on the morning she vanished. The released material shows an armed person dressed entirely in black, including a ski mask and latex gloves, approaching the front door of her $1 million home. The figure is carrying a backpack and is seen manipulating the Nest doorbell camera. In some frames, what appears to be facial hair above the upper lip is visible, though the gender of the individual remains unclear. A handgun in a holster is visible clipped to the person's side, and they seem to hold a small penlight in their mouth while working. The footage captures the suspect ripping the camera from its mounting on the door frame. By the time law enforcement officers arrived later that morning on February 1st, the device was no longer present. Additional clips show the person attempting to obscure the lens with a clenched fist, searching the surrounding area, pulling flowers from the entrance, and waving them toward the camera in a taunting manner. Another segment depicts the figure approaching with their head bowed and body hunched. The images were not immediately accessible because Nancy did not have an active subscription to the Nest service, which would have automatically uploaded footage to cloud storage. Investigators had to perform a detailed extraction from the camera's internal systems to recover the evidence, a process described as requiring a deep technical dive into back-end data. This breakthrough came on the 10th day of the intensive search for Nancy, who was reported missing after failing to join a scheduled virtual church service with friends. She was last seen entering her Catalina Foothills home the previous evening, January 31st, following dinner with her daughter Annie and son-in-law Tommaso Cioni. Annie and Cioni grew concerned when she did not appear online around 11:10 a.m. the next day and contacted authorities by 12:15 p.m. Upon arrival, investigators discovered Nancy's phone, wallet, essential daily medications, and vehicle still at the residence. Cioni reported watching her enter through the garage shortly after 9:45 p.m. the night before. Evidence at the scene included drops of blood on the front porch later confirmed to belong to Nancy, along with signs that the doorbell camera had been disconnected around 1:45 a.m. Movement was detected by another security camera less than 30 minutes later, and her pacemaker ceased transmitting data to her connected devices soon after, indicating she may have been removed from the area. Nancy requires medication every 24 hours to manage her health, raising urgent concerns about her well-being if she is not receiving it. Authorities and family members continue to express hope that she remains alive. The case has involved multiple layers of evidence collection. Investigators requested DNA swabs from household staff to compare against samples found inside the home. Forensics teams returned to the property several times, including an instance where they removed a vehicle from the garage and a camera from the roof for further analysis. A ransom demand surfaced in the days following the disappearance, with notes sent to various media outlets specifying deadlines and referencing undisclosed details about damage to the home and an item placed there. Information not publicly released prior to the note's arrival. The demands included instructions for payment via a digital wallet, with promises to return Nancy to Tucson within 12 hours of receipt. However, the wallet reportedly remained empty, negotiations stalled, and no further communication has been confirmed since the final deadline passed. The FBI has taken the lead in the investigation, coordinating with the Pima County Sheriff's Department on all aspects, including the ransom elements. Family members, including Savannah Guthrie, have shared public pleas for information, emphasizing their belief that Nancy is still alive and urging anyone with knowledge to come forward. Sheriff officials have maintained an optimistic stance where possible, stating they believe she could still be alive while acknowledging the time-sensitive nature of the search. The release of the masked figure's images represents a key step in seeking public assistance to identify the individual and advance the case toward resolution.